All right. Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. I'm going to repeat myself. Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. Here at STARCARD Podcast, we get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. We also examine the world of education and workplace ethics. My name is Breakaway Ray. I like talking about the breakaway civilizations and breaking away from the one we're in now. You've tuned into a live tarot throw. It's Friday, August 22nd, 2025. Happy Friday. How about a happy hour of tarot for all the viewers tuning in whenever you're tuning in, but especially for our subscribers. Thank you very much for motivating me to put my face on camera and throw some cards and tell some stories. So before we get going today, if you have a tarot request, you can put it in the chat. Also, I want to say it looks like there's a little bit of a delay between the words I'm saying and what I'm seeing on the screen. I think the internet might be clogged. I might be a couple of seconds behind, so bear with me. And then also, you are, of course, invited to put your tarot requests in the chat, and I'd be very happy to get to those when I'm ready. But first off, to start off today, Friday, most of us are heading toward or hoping for a weekend or some kind of break. And leave it to Breakaway Ray to talk about the future by going back 3,000 years and telling you about the ancient Greeks. So in the word school in Greek actually means the word leisure or something like that. The word leisure in Greek comes out to our English word school. And so if you think about those classical Greek people, what did they do when they, weren't farming or building or whatever it was they were doing? When they had time off, they went and they studied and they learned about science. They taught themselves science. They taught themselves literature. They tried to teach themselves across all the disciplines. Let's not forget about the three great Greek teachers. I used to enjoy telling about these three gentlemen. First off, you had Socrates, who wrote nothing down. Then you had his pupil, who was Plato. He's the guy that we heard a lot about Socrates from. And Plato also developed his own philosophical ideas and opinions. And Plato was the teacher of Aristotle. And Aristotle, it is said, was one of the last people who ever knew everything about everything. So I invite you to learn about those three gentlemen. But my idea about leisure is, not just being a couch potato, which you may deserve. We all enjoy it. It's great to couch surf, or even just to relax, get yourself a bonus nap. If your body needs it, by all means, go for it. Relax. That's what it's all about. But at the same time, if you find yourself a little bit of idle time, build yourself a project, something that you could do next time you have some time off. And I'm sure that if you pursue whatever it is that you enjoy, it's going to bring you some kind of wealth, whether it's going to be an actual currency or attention or, social networking. Go for it. Use your off time to your advantage. Don't forget to take care of yourself. So I'm going to go to the tarot cam real quick and show you that I've already shuffled the cards. And while I was shuffling the cards, I was talking to the tarot world as I do, telling them all about how I want to talk about taking a break. A lot of people are heading towards the weekend. They're done with the work week. Maybe you have some encouraging or instructional messages about relaxing in the 21st century. So let's go to the tarot cam and check it out. Yeah, like I said, there's a little bit of a delay there. Just a moment, please. All right, that looks pretty good. And I see, oh, wow, I see a lot of our friends. I'm happy to see Sally Forth and Julia and Jason H. That is great. I'm kind of surprised to see Jason because I know that Rob is also doing a show at the Typical Skeptic podcast. And so I was actually going to say, hey, everybody, that's nice if you're here, but don't forget to go watch Typical Skeptic podcast. I think he has that Olivia person, fascinating secret space program experiencer. I'm definitely going to watch it later on the recording on Rumble, because when I watch it on Rumble, it helps Rob out. All right. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, to the tarot cam. Right on, Julia. So here we go. We'll start off with one card. I said, hey, Tarot World, I got a show coming up. I got some friends who are going to watch whenever they're going to watch. Happy Friday. Happy Tarot Hour. Would you care to comment on the word leisure? And as you know, everybody, I like to just go with the top card on the deck. Let's see if there's like a relationship between what I was thinking and how the top card turned out. Woo, the moon. So let's go get the glass out and read right what it says on the card, because this is fascinating. Illusion, mystery, dreams, intuition, fear, anxiety, subconscious, and premonitions. Well, I don't need to tell people tuning into STARCARD podcast that when you're in a moment of leisure and relaxation, sometimes you have premonitions, for sure, because you're getting in touch with the 0 point, right? But also, it seems like the tarot world is suggesting we all pursue our subconscious and also our dreams and intuition. I haven't kept a dream journal, and I really should. And I've been having really fascinating dreams for a long time. I really should pursue the dream journal, but I encourage you to. That seems like a good tip for everybody. So thanks, Tarot World, for telling us what you think about leisure. You're thinking about, well, your environment, right? The world of the subconscious, the astral world, the world of spirits, while we're down here walking around in our meat sacks, right? Okay, so let's set this aside. We're going to pursue the theme of leisure, and we're going to do a 3-card throw. Part of what I try to do here on STARCARD is to show everyone basically how easy throwing tarot cards can be. So I'll give you some structures and some ideas, and maybe there's people out there who are learning themselves, and they're going to borrow some of the ideas I present. I don't really think I'm presenting anything new. Obviously, tarot cards been around a long time. So hey, Tarot World, Spirit World, thanks a lot for that great tip. We know why we're here at STARCARD Podcast. We're here to check out the world of the subconscious, because somehow Breakaway Ray is talking to somebody, and those messages are coming out on the card. He can read them. So maybe you'd like to tell us more about relaxation and leisure. Relaxation and leisure. Or if you're in Great Britain, leisure. Tell us more, please, about relaxation and leisure. We're going to throw a position card, an influence to that position card, and then a card that suggests a path forward. It looks like the tarot world came to play. So we're all here on a good night, as usual. Every time we tune in the STARCARD, it's a good night or a good morning. Please show us what we need to see. Please tell us what we need to hear about leisure and relaxation. Leisure and relaxation. Taking a deep breath. All kinds of leisure, relaxation, vacations coming up for people. Seems like vacation can be a lot of work sometimes, but we're here to relax. Relaxation, leisure. Our position card, our influence card, and we'll go right to the bottom of the deck for the path forward. Now let me see with the delay what my hands look like here. Path forward. Okay, we got to switch. There we go. Okay, here we go. How about a position card? What does the tarot world think? Where does the tarot world think we're at in the state of relaxation? Those of us watching the show right now. Well, maybe we have some work to do. This is the 5 of Pentacles. These people, poor people, are working pretty hard. I bet it feels like they're working their body to the bones. They could use the relaxation. I mean, they're working hard for a couple of Pentacles. That's not even all of what they probably deserve. Well, I feel sad about bringing those messages out. Let's see what it says on the card. Financial loss, lack of mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, insecurity. Well, we can't gloss over the fact that most of us need more than one job nowadays. So even though it might be Friday afternoon for some people, it's pretty much like Monday morning perpetually for some people also who have to get to a second job. However, if you got a second job where, you can make it cool and you could be chill and, you can still pursue your interests and follow your joy, well, congratulations, because it's a changing world. I don't have advice for you. I was born in the 20th century. All right, let's find out about the influence on where the tarot world thinks we're at. Wow, judgment. It's rebirth time. This is a great card to see. I believe that is the Archangel Gabriel, and he's blowing the horn, and all of these people are being reborn. So things look rough, but we're being reborn. Or, you know what? Let's not be so poetic, Breakaway Ray. It's the end of the week, but we're going to be reborn this weekend, right? We're focusing on happy Fridays and happy hours, right? Okay. Rough week at work. Don't worry. We're going to take care of it this weekend, and we'll be good as new on Monday. Woohoo! The 10 of Cups, it's a dream come true. All right, I think the idea is that most of us know how to relax. We know how to manage our time. And even though we work hard, we regenerate over the weekend, and we work hard to make our dreams come true, not just for ourselves, but for our friends and family and the people that we love. All right, the tarot card deck is on fire again. And because it's Friday, I promised myself I was not going to get too heavy and too intellectual. This is for subscribers and people who want readings. And by the way, everybody, I'm starting to catch on. I see what's going on in the chat with the number thing. It's hard for me to find out who asked for a reading with these big numbers in the way. What's the big deal? But now I understand what the deal is. So let me get my piece of paper out. I do have a couple of other notes, but we'll go right to the readings. And then if we have time, we can go back to my other ideas for throws. Looks like people are ready to play. So it looks like Julia's number one. I'm catching on here, huh? And then number two would be Sally Forth. Hello, Sally Forth, if I didn't already say hello. I'm so happy to see return visitors. Really appreciate it. Okay, and then Sally Forth was number two, and then I see Jason H was also got a number two. I'm gonna write them down anyway. Okay, I haven't actually read what anyone has said so far. I'm only looking at numbers. So I'm gonna now quickly read the chat, see if I'm missing anything. Yeah, thank you very much, Jason. I really appreciate that help. Uh-oh. We're not producing enough video to maintain smooth streaming. So it sounds like a lot of people are having fun on a Friday afternoon. Maybe I'll reconsider schedules next time around. Nevertheless, let me continue taking a look. Jason, you're singing my song, 1980s. The lead singer, Belinda Carlisle, she went to high school very near where I live. Jason, happy birthday. That's right. You have an August birthday. Congratulations. Okay, and then I see a new name. I see and feel the light. Okay, great. Welcome to the show. Enjoy the program. I'm going to go ahead first and throw some cards for Julia. Please show us what Julia needs to see. Please tell us what Julia needs to hear. Julia, Anchor Haven, yeah. Julia, these cards are for Julia. I think the cards know you well by now. I wonder how busy it is on the inner world stuff. I wonder if you're meeting a lot of new people in your meditations. My eyes are closed. I'm not looking at the chat. These cards are for Julia. Please show us a message for Julia. Maybe you have more than one message for Julia. How about a message for Julia, please? These cards are for Julia. These cards are for Julia. Julia. All right, Julia. This is for entertainment purposes only, and apparently we're all entertaining. We keep throwing cards for you. It's a lot of fun. I learn a lot, by the way, every time you invite me to throw for you, for sure. Here I go. Did I just say I learn a lot every time I throw cards for you? Here is the Hierophant, the Learned Man. How about that? the tarot cards, sometimes I think they're showing off. You know, they're echoing what I say. Okay. Whoops. I dropped the card, but I'm picking it up. And the card I'm picking up is the Emperor. I was holding for the delay, the buffering. Anyway, there's the Emperor. And the Page of Swords, indicating new ideas. I'm going to read the Page of Swords aloud. The Emperor is basically the dude that's in control, right? New ideas, curiosity, thirst for knowledge, new ways of communicating, restless, mental energy. Now, maybe some of those words match up with what's on your mind, Julia, and that's great. But I also want to say this looks like a restatement of what I was saying. You know, we want to learn, and I'm the guy throwing the cards. Anything new for Julia? So, but at the same time, it could be not only are you learning, and I know you're continuously learning, but you're definitely in charge. You're an autodidact, as we would say. That's a word that's been on my mind all day. You know, you're busy producing new ideas for everybody. Okay, great. Let's see the second sentence. Oh, there's always magic in the air when Julia comes into the chat at STARCARD Podcast. Thanks a lot, Julia. That's how I feel about it. Let's find out what the rest of the cards say. See how it applies to you. Woohoo! Check that out. It's the World card. That's a sense of completion. Everything's done. You're going to magically get things done, get it all done. It's all going to be accomplished magically. That means that, you know, even when magic happens, even the magician is kind of surprised. You know, I didn't know all that was going to happen. I needed it done, and it just got done. So I would say trust that it's all going to get done. You know, you got magic behind you. We're allowed to say that on the internet, right? Okay. Then the Six of Cups, another happy card, happy memories. So I will quickly read what it says on these cards. The Ace of Wands. New project, inspiration, urge to create, willpower, desire, power, potential beginnings, new opportunities, growth. I mean, I know you basically because of your podcast, and it sounds like, you know, you started your podcast. You're definitely well into it. You have a polished product to present to everybody. The World card, completion, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life. I know you did just travel recently, by the way, and arriving. Yeah, all those words seem to apply. And then the Six of Cups reads familiarity, happy memories, reminiscing, childhood memories, innocence, joy, and nostalgia. By the way, these happy memories that we're talking about, you put on videotape. Just like with the Typical Skeptic podcast and other programs, people can go through your video list and revisit your interviews over and over again whenever they want to into the future. They are so informative. They open up people's eyes. They broaden people's horizons. Let's see what the last sentence says for you here, Julia. Well, it's the Eight of Swords, which says, as much as you can imagine. Wow. The Hanged Man. I'm going to have to read these cards out loud too. Wow. I don't think it's a coincidence Ten of Pentacles. So I will read the cards, but I want to say this much. As much as you can imagine, you will never be able to imagine in the normal perspective where all the wealth is going to come from, but all the wealth is going to be there. You're going to find that pot of gold on the other side of the rainbow there. That's what I immediately think of when I see this. Keep imagining that success that you seem to already have a vision for. Otherwise, you would not have, the couple hundred videos you already have on your channel. But let's go ahead and read the cards to you, because maybe there's other words on here that ring a bell for you. Eight of Swords. Okay. Negative thoughts, self-imposed restriction, imprisonment, victim mentality, entrapment. But let's turn it over. Come on, it's Friday afternoon. Let's get a reverse reading on the Eight of Swords. Self-limiting beliefs, inner critic, releasing negative thoughts. Yay, that's the one I want to hear. Opening to new perspectives, self-acceptance, freedom. We also said opening to new perspectives, and that's what this guy's all about, opening to new perspectives. The Hangman, pause, surrender, letting go, new perspective, enlightenment, viewing things differently than before, deep insight, sacrifice, change, and release. And then finally, the ka-ching at the end of the rainbow, Ten of Pentacles, wealth, financial security, family, long-term success, and contribution. Julia, I hope some of this applied. I know I enjoyed reading it. And thank you very much again for inviting me to read. You guys know you make my day every time you invite me to read. So number 2 was Sally Forth. Here we go, Sally. This is for Sally Forth. Please show us what Sally needs to see. Please tell us what Sally needs to hear on this Friday afternoon in August. Especially if it's good news. Please show us what Sally needs to see. Please tell us what Sally needs to hear. Because it's Friday afternoon, we're all about relaxing. All right, let's head into the weekend, helping Sally Forth with a nice, helpful message, please. Helpful, fun, happy message, I hope. Please show us what Sally Forth needs to see. Please tell us what Sally Forth needs to hear. Sally, I want to thank you again for subscribing. Thank you very much. This is for Sally Forth. This is for Sally. Woo! All right. I think you go up here. Okay, we'll do it that way. This is for Sally. This is for Sally Forth. And one off the bottom. All right. This is all for entertainment purposes, and not just mine, I hope. These are for Sally Forth. Let's see what's happening. Yay. I asked for a happy message, right? It's the Sun card. All is well. Okay. The tarot world just kind of gives me whatever I ask for. Talk about manifesting. Okay, next up. Come on. It's the Tower card. All right, so all is well while the world is crumbling down around us. I mean, let's face it, whatever's falling down, it probably needed to come down. Oof. Yay. That's right, because, with the Page of Wands, once everything comes down, then you can see over everything. All right, you can see all the possibilities and opportunities, all around you. So it's not a bad thing that stuff is coming down. There's a lot of opportunities to find once those walls come down. I'm wondering if this is like the 7 of Cups next. No, it's the 9 of Wands. I like the 9 of Wands better because this person has a lot of wisdom. But let's go ahead and read the cards to you. I'll do my quick, one sentence read. Everything's fine, even though there's a lot of change going on. You're going to find, lots of doors opening for you, and you'll have the wisdom to know which one to pick because you'll know what you want. And by the way, if you think you know what you want, you might want to start visualizing that so that when the walls come down, you can see it better, and you'll just be walking in that path. Even your subconscious will point you in that direction, when you're not consciously thinking of it, because your subconscious knows about the energies around you and knows which path will lead you towards the most grace and ease. So let's read what's on the card. The Sun card: positivity, pleasure, happiness, vitality, fun, joy, warmth, celebration, success, rebirth, all is well. And then the Tower card comes out and says sudden change, upheaval, chaos, revelation, disaster, awakening, release, sudden insight. Awakening, and barely anyone would notice on the outside, right? If you kept your poker face. The Page of Wands: inspiration, ideas, discovery, limitless potential, free spirit, exploration, excitement, freedom. Hey, you know what? I'm just trying to be colorful here, but this is kind of like someone who's been in the big house and there's a jailbreak and he knows about it. He's all, I know what, I can put up with the warden a couple more days because I know what's going to happen. And once I escape, everything's going to be cool. That's me turning it into a Hollywood movie. I wouldn't want to wish incarceration on anyone. That's exactly what I'm against here at STARCARD Podcast. I also want people to free their minds. Just being colorful, I got to watch out for my colorful cartoon-like images. The 9 of Wands: courage, persistence, test of faith, resilience, boundaries, last stand, gearing up for the worst, pessimism, weary. But get this, you're going to save a lot of energy because now what mistakes not to make, which steps not to step over, which lines not to step over. You'll know where boundaries are around you, and everyone else is going to know your boundaries. Wow, that was pretty heavy and industrious for a first sentence. Let's see what it says in the second sentence. Hooray! It's the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles: wealth, business, leadership, security, discipline, abundance, prosperity, and generosity. Nice. Another big vibration, a big feeling, very magnanimous. You can help everybody, or this energy is, I can help everybody. And we all want this guy to. He knows what he's doing. That's the 8 of Swords again. Let's see what's next. Oh, sweet. Okay, Queen of Cups, upside down, as much as you can imagine, especially releasing negative thoughts. So, if someone had a lot to share, which they earned, by the way, they didn't take it from people. They took what the universe gave them and made it better for everybody. Then as much as you can imagine, that person's going to come into rewards like the Queen of Cups. And the rewards for the Queen of Cups is not just a financial one and a status one. It's also an inner and personal one, an interpersonal one on the inside. Listen to this: compassion, comfort, calm, nurturing, healing, emotionally stable, intuitive, and caring. The comfort, the calm, and the emotionally stable person. Okay, so again, you built up something for a long time, and then as much as you can imagine, the rewards of the Queen of Cups come to you. You're calm, you're comforted, and you can share that comfort with others. Okay, I would rather be calm and comforted than be anxious and stressed out all the time. I would say the Queen of Cups, she's welcome to my Friday afternoon happy hour anytime. Last sentence. All right, let's make some magic on a Friday afternoon. It's the Magician. Next up. All right. Hey, everybody. You saw me shuffle the cards. It's the 10 of Pentacles. We're talking about wealth again. Oh, yeah. I think the tarot world is getting ready for Labor Day weekend here. The 9 of Pentacles is talking about fruits of your labor. You know, certainly in the 20th century, there was an idea that if you worked hard and saved your money, you could retire. I don't think that idea has survived so much in the 21st century. But this certainly is a message, you know, that you can make magic, you know, not just by building up money, but by recognizing the value of all those things around you and all the people around you. Because wealth isn't just, of course, about coins or currency. It's about the currency of your desires and who you love. Let's see, there's that song by Dean Martin, you know, you're nobody till somebody loves you. And part of the lyrics say something like, when you're old, you could have a lot of gold, but if you got nobody to love, what good is it? So certainly have a good time this weekend, everybody, especially you, Sally Forth, with the people that you're around, because when you look back, that's probably what you're really going to treasure. All right, that was a lot of fun. I sure enjoy everyone prompting me to give my extemporaneous stories based on the pictures I see on these cards. I took care of Sally Forth, and then Jason was number 3. So let's shuffle some cards for Jason. I'm only catching quick glimpses of what's going on in the chat. Here I go. Let's shuffle some cards for Jason. I think Jason is probably like one of the first people I threw cards for over at the Typical Skeptic podcast. I'm hoping that I get to see everybody on Labor Day weekend. I was going to wait till later next week and text Rob and say, you know, what day you want me to come out. I will not be available on Saturday, probably. Nevertheless, I still want to come out and play and throw cards at Rob's house. All right. But these are for Jason. I think I understand from something I saw in a chat, I think Jason might work in the entertainment industry. I seem to remember him talking about doing a shoot in a hospital. I hope I remember that correctly. That's pretty fascinating, Jason. And then, of course, Jason just had a birthday. That's pretty cool. Nice. These cards are for Jason. Please show Jason what he needs to see. Please tell Jason what he needs to hear. Don't forget, Jason had a birthday. I bet we got a special message for Jason. All right. These are for Jason. Here we go, Jason. These are for Jason. These are for Jason. These are for Jason. These are for Jason. And we're going to give Jason a little birthday cake for when the reading's all done. Imagine favorite cake you have. I'm not saying this card has anything to do with that cake. All right, Jason, I want to thank you very much. You're a very supportive person. in general, and I appreciate your help when I come on Rob's show. Thanks again for being a subscriber. Happy birthday, Jason. It's the Hangman. Everyone saw me shuffle the cards. The Hangman is saying there's an alternate perspective to offer here. We're getting excited here. This is the Seven of Swords, indicating that something is hidden. Oh, sweet. And the Knight of Cups. This is the Knight in shining armor. So I was getting all excited when I saw the Seven of Swords. But you know what I'm thinking? I think it's just a restatement. We're talking about Jason. You barely notice Jason is there, right? You don't see him on camera, but he's in the chat. He's hidden in there. He's there. He's watching, and he's helping everybody. He's the Knight in shining armor. For sure. That's how I feel about Jason. I mean, I felt that way before I saw the card, right? You guys heard me. All right. Well, cool, Jason. At the same time, maybe these messages ring some bells for you. Maybe it'll tie in a different way with these three cards that come next. Next up, the Queen of Swords. She says, you were right. Oh, nice. It's the Sun card. All is well. Positivity. And the Nine of Swords. I'm going to have to read what it says on the card here. Nine of Swords. Anxiety, worry, fear, depression, nightmares, insomnia, hopelessness, trauma, and despair. Jason, you're totally ready for me to throw this card upside down. Let's take a look. Inner turmoil, deep-seated fears, secrets, releasing worry, hope, and reaching out. So let's focus on those last three words. It's Friday afternoon. This is Happy Tarot Hour. So releasing worry, hope, and reaching out. So maybe we need to hear what's on the Sun card to go along with it. Positivity, pleasure, happiness, vitality, fun, joy, warmth, celebration, success, rebirth. All is well. And the Queen of Swords says, unbiased judgment, independent, clear boundaries, direct communication, clear-minded, perceptive. It sounds like perhaps we're talking about someone who has clear boundaries. And so, you can see what is good. And also you're not confused when other people are messing around. They might be trying to cause a problem for you and twist things around. But again, your perspective is clear and everything is fine. People need to stop getting all excited over nothing. I'm giving it my best shot, Jason. Let's go to the last sentence. All right. On your birthday, I hope you make a lot of magic. Look, the magician's holding up a candle for you to blow out, Jason. Make a wish. I wish that the rest of these cards are good. Next card. Oh. So it's the Five of Pentacles. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to have to read all three of those cards. Isn't this a rich texture of cards and messages here? And then finally, the Page of Swords. So, when I see this card, it makes it look different. On the magic of your birthday, let's walk past the problems because you're part of a team bringing new ideas to everybody in humanity, Jason. You help everybody when they need to get up on their soapbox and share the truth. So I will read the cards for you, but I kind of like that sentence I just made. So there's that candle on the magician's hand there. Let's read about the magician. Action, creation, manifestation, power, self-confidence, clarity, willpower, skill, and creativity. The Five of Pentacles. Financial loss, lack of mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, insecurity. But as I was saying, it looks like these people are just walking past those problems toward the guy who's got all the bright ideas. Okay? They're walking toward the Page of Swords, new ideas, curiosity, thirst for knowledge, new ways of communicating, restless, and mental energy. Again, kind of characterizes you, describes you there. No matter what this card is, I'm going to turn it into something positive. But happy birthday, Jason, and thank you. I don't have to try too hard. It's the King of Wands. Rock on. Keep it going, dude. Knight of Wands. Energy, passionate, inspired action, adventure, fearless, impulsiveness. Yeah. Don't stop being you, right? All right. Thank you very much, Jason. So now I'm going to take a pause and see if there's anyone else in the chat who wants a reading. And then I'll figure out where to go from there. Thanks. It's already been worth my while to turn on the camera today, right? I'm already having fun talking to myself and the tarot world. You know, it's not just me. Okay. I'm still checking the chat here. So, hey, you're welcome, Sally Forth. Oh, there's more. Hang on. Okay, Julia's going to be on Typical Skeptic podcast next week. That's exciting. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone in the chat for sharing their impressions of the cards as well. I don't see anyone else requesting a chat right now. So for the benefit of all the viewers, including ones in the future, I do have a couple of ideas for throwing about relaxing time and leisure time. And maybe I'm showing what a dinosaur, what a relic I am, because I wrote the words save or borrow. I wrote the words save or borrow with the idea of, should we save up for a vacation like it's the 1950s or the 1960s? Or should we borrow and just take a vacation anyway, kind of like the 1980s and whenever? I'm just making general statements about my perceptions of what life has been like here in the United States. So, yeah, you're welcome, Jason. Cool. So I'm going to ask the tarot world to show us what they think of the statements, save for vacation or borrow for a vacation. If you manage your borrowing, you can still do it. My own personal thing is I'm not into this. This totally sounds like it's fake. Like nobody thinks this way, Breakaway Ray. But by the way, that's why I'm Breakaway Ray. So I don't like any kind of interest unless someone's paying me interest. So I never let my credit cards charge me interest. I pay monthly, which means if I can't afford it, I don't pay for it. And if it comes to an extravagant vacation, I don't like the idea of paying it months and months later. That kind of takes the fun and the wind out of my sails for having gone on vacation. Those are just my opinions, but there's a good chance that 70 to 80% of the audience right now is like, yeah, you live in a dream world, because that's not the way it is now. I'll be working till I die. I'll probably have to have 2 jobs, and so will my partner. And yeah, it's different nowadays. I agree. And for the record, I mean, I know it looks like I retired, but I'm not. I'm living off savings, and well, I can always go back to work. I would have to work that out, but in the meantime, I'm using my time off, my leisure, in a classically Greek way, right? I'm learning about a new world, basically. So anyway, back to the tarot world. Could you please tell us what your opinions are about saving for a vacation versus borrowing for a vacation? You're probably not going to make it sound so polar as I just made it sound. So saving for a vacation. Okay, and then borrowing for a vacation. You got children. What are you going to do, Breakaway? You're going to have to borrow a little bit. Just taking the family out to dinner. More than $100. Well, let's go right there. And then we'll let the tarot world give us their final statement right there. So, saving for vacation. Judgment. Judgment could represent the rebirth we feel from a vacation. It could also mean, it's a judgment call. You're kind of like the umpire behind the plate. If we're really close on, do we have money for a vacation? We're gonna have to make a call when we get there. So if it comes close like that, there's the Hierophant saying, learn more, right? I mean, I guess everyone would go on the internet and try to get the best price. I think that I never tried this because I don't like to travel a lot. I don't travel a lot. But anyway, I thought that I would have like some spare email addresses with which to go venture out and seek out a price for a ticket online. And then when I find the ticket I want, after I've shopped around, you know how like when you go back and the cookies say, oh yeah, you've been here before, the price just went up. Well, if I already know that there's a ticket and it's got the right price, I'll go in there with another email address and get the same price instead of revisiting and have them jack it up because I didn't pull the trigger the first time. Anyway, just a form of studying. For sure, it is fantasy. I've never done that. I don't know what I'm talking about. The Two of Wands, we are talking about planning for vacations, planning for travel. That's what this guy's all about. And then the Moon card comes out and says, you know, you might have to use your intuition. By the way, why is that not a bad thing? That seems like the best thing to do. Use your intuition. Sleep on it. Find out how you feel about it in the morning after you've done all the research. Oh, and you can make your dreams come true. Well, so yeah, these cards sounded pretty good for saving up for vacation. That pretty much mirrors my my own thoughts, my own perception. What about borrowing for a vacation? This might be a more complex answer. Let's take a look at these cards. Well, the Ace of Cups could represent that you're, getting a lot of money, and it's almost like a gift from God, a gift coming out of the sky, because you didn't have the money to begin with. Oh, it's the Three of Swords. It could hurt when you put it on the plastic. All right, but it can feel like magic, right? A little pain, a little extra interest, you have to pay it off maybe in a couple of months or something like that. And then, but meanwhile, the whole family had a great time. You guys are always going to remember it. Yeah. In fact, you could see over everybody because you propped up your finances with the plastic. Gives you a broad perspective, gives you a new look on things. Maybe you and your family needed that vacation. Maybe it was well worth it. Yeah. Take a look at things differently. Come on, Breakaway Ray. Broaden your horizons. Chill out. It's okay to borrow if that's what you got to do. All right. And so, to close the conversation, Tarot World, we give you the floor. You can have the last word. The Three of Wands. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Preparation, progress, foresight, enterprise, expansion, overseas opportunities. Totally feels like the Tarot World was co-writing that script with me. All right, I'm going to check one more time in the chat, see if there's another reading. Otherwise, I got another fun reading I want to do. That was really cool, Tarot World. Thank you. You're making me look good, Tarot deck. I mean, I know I look good because I got a tie on, but you guys are making me look like I know what I'm doing here. Okay. All right, Julia, thank you very much. I'm not seeing anyone else put in for a reading, which is fine. And so I have another one I want to try. And we were just talking about taking a break. We were just talking about a vacation, right? And I'd like to propose that there's two kinds of vacation, especially if you're an expert at, for example, meditating or doing yoga, or you have a workout routine, or even if you have a prayer and affirmation routine, you could put yourself, and even a breathing routine, right? Or you do sound baths. What do you do to relax when it's not August and you can't take a plane to Hawaii and go jump in the water? Okay. What if you need a break and that break is just like 10 minutes between the time you got home and you got undressed for work before you have to go out to the kitchen and make dinner for everybody? How do you compose yourself? How valuable is it to not just plan for outer vacations, but also inner vacations, because the inner vacations can happen more frequently. They can happen anytime. I'm quite sure that people can go on the internet and find all kinds of people sharing ways and methods to quickly learn to relax with breathing exercises, Tai Chi, other martial arts, any kind of exercise, basically, even taking a walk. Come on, taking a walk is awesome. That's like my favorite thing. But anyway, let's ask the tarot world, would you like to discuss leisure, relaxation, the concept of vacation as an outer world experience and an inner world experience? I'm expecting with the outer world experience, I'm going to see cards that talk about relationships with people. Sometimes we go on trips with people and we meet people, and those people really become the plot of our adventure. I know that I've been to, when I used to travel more in the 90s, each place I went to, it's not really so much the place I remember, it's the people I was with.